Good morning, everyone. Not for sure if anybody's up this early, but for some reason my clock just woke me up at no alarm clock, just an internal clock said, "Get your fat ass up out of bed." That happened at 4:20 this morning, so that was a good sign for me to get up and enjoy my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I wasn't really going to tell anybody it was my birthday. It's just a day. But I do find it funny that you can go to sleep at one age and wake up a different age, a whole year older in one night. So it's so dark out, I literally had to turn on my porch light, get my coffee going, because gotta have coffee first thing. Coffee's what makes me get up. I don't know what made me get up, but I gotta grab some coffee and decided I'd start my day. Get my morning coffee in, go do my usual quick straightening up of the house, get everything done that way. I woke up to a happy birthday wish already. Someone was and always is the first one to wish me happy birthday. I woke up to a message. That was nice. But guaranteed always the first one to say good morning or happy birthday. I believe that person stays up till midnight just to be the first to send the message. I thought it was funny. I was like, don't you ever sleep? Evidently not much. I got some sleep, but I woke up bright and early. So now it's coffee time. I see people come on, look for a second, and get back off. Ain't nothing going on out here today. It's just me talking like usual. The only thing different is got the camera pointing at my ugly mug instead of the dogs. So it's morning with me, instead of my voice and you watching my dog sleep, because that's what they're doing right now. They're awake just like me, but they're also asleep. We'll say that they're up. They're sleeping somewhere else. Well, four are sleeping. Teddy's got his nose into everything. And Wally's awake, contemplating life because he's awake at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, "What you do making me come down here and go to the bathroom?" That's just too funny. That's what he's got going. Oh, did I scare you, Ollie? I'm sorry. Oliver and all them are over there. I hit the mute button twice in a row. Sorry. Since this is the page about the dogs, and you guys don't have to look at my ugly face. You can watch my dogs sleep. That's what they would look like if they were homeless, living outside. They would all be lined up on that bench, sound asleep. But they came out of the comforts of a nice, cool house where they have a bunch of food. And now they're down here. Yeah, still don't understand why I got up so early. I'm pretty sure I went to bed about 10, 11 o'clock. I'm not having trouble with words, but I'm not having a problem with sleeping. But it's one of those days that you sleep, and next thing you know, you're just wide awake. No alarm clock, no note, no nothing, just wide awake. I don't have any exciting plans or anything like that would wake me up, but I just woke up out of the middle of, well, most people call it the middle of the night. It was 4:20 in the morning. So if you wake, you might as well wake and bake. My cats are all in the house. They're screaming. Those two are, sounds like they're about to fight because they're mad. They do this every morning. I let them in the door. Their bowls are full, but they want to stand at the door and yell at me until I walk in the house, walk them into their spot, and show them their bowl is full. Or they'll just sit there and scream, I don't want to eat. I let them do that. It's time to learn. You're in the house. Your food's in the house. It's in the exact same spot it was when you went to sleep. Same spot it was yesterday morning. And the morning before that. And the morning before that. To me, it's just funny. What's up, Oliver Duke? Hello, Ollie. How are you this morning? He said life would be better if you turn that camera off. Turn this porch light off. And put me back in bed. Yeah, I had a little visitor in my bed last night because some nights when I go up and go to bed, I let the dogs play in the bedroom and do what they do and visit with each other. But they all have certain spots that they go lay down. We have everybody what crates they need to be in. And sometimes they get in them, but sometimes they mix things up. And when they mix things up themselves, there's usually an oddball left because how they sleep at night, crate wise, is the three girls, Molly, Susie, and Ruby. They they get a big crate because the three of them share it. I have a medium-sized crate that I put Toby and Teddy in. father and son camping, I guess. And then Oliver gets his own crate by himself, and Wally has the bully bed, and he can walk around the house. But then last night they mixed everything up, and instead of three girls in the big cage, we had cage, crate, whatever you want to call it. They had Toby, Molly, and Ruby, and Molly was laying somewhere else. Teddy was in his cage. No, Teddy was in Oliver's cage. So all I could do was put Oliver in the cage that Teddy and Toby share. So that left the oddball Molly out. So oddball Molly got to sleep in bed with Dad. It's the only way I know she's not up running around making a mess. But yeah, all the little dogs are Chihuahua mix of some sort. All of them, when you go somewhere, you still have to put them in crates or they make a mess. Wally is my only oddball, my pit bull. And he has been basically crate trained when he was little and hasn't forgotten it. He knows that if he messes in the house, then he gets put inside a crate when I go places. Because that's what it's for. Don't mess up my house. So he learned that at a young age, and he's still smart enough to this day to be like, nope, I can, Dad's gone. I can sleep on the couch. I can sleep on the whatever, the futon, his recliner, my recliner. So he's a smart one. He said, don't do that. You guys will be in trouble. And I still, every once in a while, give the little ones the benefit of the doubt and try to leave them one or two out when I go to see if they're any better. But they're not any better. That's the funny part. Sorry, I had to close the porch. Close the back porch door leading to the yard. It's still early in the morning, and I hear a giant hoot owl in the background. And the little puppies had their ears up all curious, and I'm like, no, you can't go out there with a giant hoot owl in the area. They're young, they don't know yet. You smell him, don't you? He said, I heard him and now I smell him. That's brother, sister, and daddy. Daddy and sister are sleeping. Brother can't make up his mind. So it's almost 5:30 in the morning. Is the one person that's watching still awake or just waking up? I have just woke up. We know there's still some of those. I'm still awake. But sometimes when I get on here, I think everybody's sleeping or doing whatever. But then you realize that people from other countries are in different time zones, so they're some are awake, some are partying, some are sleeping. It's an odd thing. My page is small, so I don't get like hundreds of thousands of people tuning in at one time to hear me rattle on about shit. So I basically see people. It pops up like 3 people watch, 4 people watch. I don't think I've ever seen it over like 30 or 40 people watching at the same time. You know, people pop in, pop out. The attention span of the American people these days is exactly 3.2 tenths of a second. I'm pretty sure if it ain't sex, drugs, or political complaining, either part, nobody's tuning in. do, 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 do. I think my neighbors are awake. I think the light just came on. You guys behave. I say that, but I could be in danger, and they can hear it from up the street. Oof, oof, oof. Did it go away? What do you two hear? I hear the first signs of morning. The chirping from the night before, and the waking of the birds and the trees in the background. There's only a couple of those awake right now. Looks about like a half moon outside still. Normally I catch the sun already up, but I'm up early and I see the moon. I doubt it will pick up the moon. I don't have no high-speed camera or anything. This is, oh, just my phone. But there it is. It's out and about. But it's much brighter and nicer. I guess one of these days, if I ever get rich, or if somebody wants to donate to the. Oh shoot! I broke my stand. I didn't break it. It's just loose. It's not wanting to cooperate. All right, I got it back. But now it's not set right because we see the 3, but there's 5 up there. There's the rest of the doggies. They're all like, would you shut up? So we're awake early on the back porch. Coffee early. I'm making noises now. Nobody's watching, so I don't care if I make a little bit of noise. I'm just wrapping the cord up to this here tripod light thingamajiggy that holds my phone. That's what we'll call it, a thingamajiggy, or whatchamacallit. Or my favorite is that thing. Because when you can't think of the name of it, it's a whatchamacallit or a thingamajiggy. But that thing over there, that works better. You know where that thing is? You know, that whatchamacallit that we had before. You know, we use the thingamajiggy on it. That's good conversation. Because that's how it goes. What do you call it? I don't know. Nowadays, it's even harder. I can look at it. I know what it is. But my brain won't compute. And I really forget what it was the other day. I was in the car with my daughter. And all that stuff. And there's a word. I don't remember the word. I will again because I'll try to use it again. It was a normal word that most people use, no problem. It's got more than 2 syllables, so I was trying to get it to spit out, and it kept coming out wrong, and I'm like, that isn't how you say it. And she popped off with it, and I'm like, that's the word. It's in my brain. It's trying to come out of my mouth, but it just wasn't working. That's how that goes these days. But now that I'm up early, and it just remembered it because today is Friday. So Tuesday, my daughter told me we need to go to the bank, and I'm like, okay. So then she said it on Tuesday. We had plans for Wednesday after doing something, but things got busy or whatever and didn't make it. Thursday, I had a doctor's appointment, and we talked all day Wednesday that on the way to or from the doctor's appointment, stop at the bank. So I get up, doctor's appointment yesterday, and I drive to the bank. No, I drive to the doctor's appointment. I get pulled in and go to the doctor and all that. I drive straight back to the house. I get sat down, got my shoes off, got the dogs out playing. And my daughter's like, oh, I'm sorry. She texts me. She's like, I'm sorry I'm late. How was the doctor? And I said, oh, the doctor was good. She said, did you go to the bank? And all I could think is, shit. I didn't even go to the bank. So yesterday was no, it totally slipped my mind. You can talk about it for 2 damn days. And I still forgot to go to the bank. So again, oh, that's not even the funny part. She sent me a list of things to do on Messenger. She does it all the time. My to-do list of things that I need to remember to do. Like, she makes for sure that I remember that my doctor appointments I wrote down and all that stuff, because I have a bad time of, I write them down, but sometimes I write the wrong month, and it doesn't register to me that I wrote the wrong month. Luckily, this happened while she was here, because then she looked at the board that I wrote it down, and she's like, she looked up at the appointment, she looked down at the board, she goes, it's right. But I wrote the wrong month, because my dumbass is now learning that I can sit there with my fingers like I do, and I used to do. I'd go January, February, March, and I would write it up, and I'd be like, okay, that's the 7th month. Boom. And she's like, nope, you got to change it up now. I said, what do you mean? She said, now you have to write July. Or if your appointment is in October, even if it says, even if it says 10, whatever, she said, if it's in October, you write October. Basically spell it out instead of writing it out like you would on an application. When's your birthday? 6/5/21, you know, however that rolls. I just spitting out a bullshit birthday. So yeah, those are some of the things that change around here. I have routines, the things I get up and do. Depending what day that is, I do those routines. and then I try to squeeze in more straightening up in between those days, or squeezing in doctors and things like that. And I wake up and look at my calendar, make for sure I don't have any appointments pending or coming up. I know the camera doesn't pick up Oliver snoring, but he is sawing the shit out of some logs. Now he stopped. He said, "Don't you talk about me?" Wally is still awake, garden. He's got his ears and his nose to the grindstone. He said, "You go ahead and sleep there, little dog. I got this watch." Oliver's really sneezing and snoring. Tell me, how's it gonna be when you don't know me? And laugh out loud and say that I gotta get out of here. Do, do, do. It's almost time for a coffee refill. If you've hung on this long, we've almost finished one cup of coffee. No wonder my days take so long. 30 minutes to finish a cup of coffee. That's crazy. And today is Friday morning. So if you don't hear from me or see me now anymore, that Saturday night at 9, I'll be back doing my live. I should plug that in the first thing in my videos. So if anybody watches it, that'll be the first thing that they see is good morning. Just a reminder. The lives are always hit or miss on who shows up and how many people watch. But I found those a lot easier to deal with than editing videos. If the dogs are laying or playing or getting out and you want to video it, just go live. There's all kinds of unfamiliar sounds first thing in the morning for Wally. he knows them, but it's like he hears one car, and then he smells something or hears a rattle of a bush because there's not a lot of life noises going on right now. And every time he lays down, he thinks he hears something else. He's like, oh, what is it? Be alert. Save some trees for the rest of us, Oliver. These are my kind of times in the morning. It's 78 degrees, still cool outside. And now everybody's going to start getting ready to rock and roll and get their daily lives going. That was a big something or nothing, some kind of nut falling off of a tree. See if my nuts hit the ground, boom, boom. So peaceful watching them sleep. This is basically just me recording that my dogs are actually quiet some days. Because sometimes you just forget that they can be. They absolutely just love making noises, running around. They do a lot of laying around, but if they're out in the yard, they lay down or on the back porch, and when they hear some noise, they're off like a shot to go bark at it or whatever. They had fun yesterday because I don't know what it is. It must be, had it been like track and field, basketball, and all those little high school kids, I don't know what sport it was, but they were all running like cross country, I guess, because they came from a long way, because they were all sweaty and things and tired by the time they got by the house. And they were running, the dogs were having a field day. They could run the length of the backyard barking. Some of the kids would be like, hey, I like that one. It's the one I want. So they wore themselves out pretty good yesterday. They're making up for it this morning. Just a pile of babies. There's one fur baby that's still in the house. Susie K went in and she was outside for a minute, but she went back in and she buries herself under some covers wherever she can find them. And says, I'll be out later. It's too early for me. So that's where she's at. The other six are out here. Boy, here, Toby. To be or not to be? That is to be. Smiling joke in my head. I don't know why she's out here. You don't get fed out here. You bring her food out one time. And now she thinks she needs to be fed out here. She wanted to eat at my bedtime. My cats, they're out at night. They like to be out at night. And if not, that one there is trouble in the house. So Miss Stella has to be outside. And Stanley prefers it. He's in during the day most of the time, during the heat, but he's out at night. She's in that mess of stuff I have up there. There she goes. But yeah, they're mostly in the house during the day and out at night. So she wanted to come in and eat when it was my bedtime, which meant it was her outside time. So I hadn't seen her all day, because sometimes she stays out. So I was like, no, can't do that. So I brought her food outside, and now she thinks instead of going into where it's usually at, she sits there and screams for it here. One time. I got a notion that's what they learn with the neighbors is when they're out at night, they be like, well, these cats come up here at night and they feed me. But then they're gone in the mornings and I never see them. I don't know if it's that cats are loyal like that or if they're smart enough to know where their food comes from. But they can be out visiting other people's houses, the whole entire neighborhood, walking around, exploring things. But unless something happened or somebody's taking them in, stolen them or whatever, they pretty much come right home. When you're trained that way, I guess. I don't think you can really train one. You teach them as a little cat that this is where you eat food. This is where you get pettings, lovings, rubbings, and all that good stuff that's involved. And then I slowly let them outside to, play on the back porch. And then when they got a little bit bigger, they were allowed to go out in the yard with the dogs. And then when they got big enough to climb a tree and jump on the roof of the garage, I knew it was over. They wanted to go look around. And that's what they do to this day. They know where the food and the loving is. But the kitties like to explore the world. That's why I'm happy I have a big backyard. Let the dogs get out and run. If I'm out in the front yard and can watch the brother and sister duo. Speaking of the brother and sister duo, in case you don't know who that is, that would be Ruby Page and her brother, Toby Wallace. Well, I have a video of Toby, a little short video. He's the little asshole that climbs the fence and jumps from one side of the yard to the other. So I was like, I think it's funny because he does that once in a while and all that. And it's like, you got to stop though. Ruby does it. Ruby used to have a tree in the corner of the fence. She would jump in between the root system or the branches of the tree and then jump straight over the fence. I literally had to put some caging wiring around that section of the tree because she can't jump over the fence now. So she doesn't do that. Now, when Toby gets riled up and he climbs the fence, Ruby is usually right behind him. Trouble duo. Well, lo and behold, yesterday, they both jumped the fence, climbed it, right over it. They did it quietly. I didn't hear it. And I heard it rattle. And I turned around because I was about to yell at one of them. And it was Molly. They showed that little baby that she could climb the fence. She's not even a year old. She comes to me because she knows me, but she doesn't like people. She's afraid of everybody. My daughter, my son-in-law, my brother. She's a daddy's girl. She's just afraid of everybody. And the past 2 weeks, she's just now, I got her to where I'm sitting in the recliner and I'm like, you don't need for me to pick you up. You can jump up here like everybody else. So I finally started making her jump up instead of picking her up. I'm like, you can do that. So she jumped the fence and I was like, here we go. Then she got in trouble. Well, thank you, Lori. And good morning. Yeah, they're, I'm lucky to have them. They're the godsend that keeps me sane these days. But yeah, they're trouble. And everybody on that bench is family except for Oliver. Oliver's the big white lump sitting there. That's Ruby next to him. There's Teddy. Molly's in the middle. And that's Toby. They're all actually really family because Ruby and Toby are brother and sister. Teddy and Molly are the son of Toby. Thank goodness Ruby wasn't the mother. But yeah, that's a real family right there. And I have the mama, so if mama's there, then 5 out of 7 are somehow blood related, I guess you would say. They're in the family. Oliver would be the white sheep of the family. Well, thank you. Yeah, they're what keeps me sane. I started this page showing the dogs and everything, dog related, after my 3rd stroke. I was unable to work, so this is what I do with my time. I don't know if you're new to my page or not, but that's what I do. I'm make silly videos, but I found it's supposed easier to do live videos. But I still make videos. I do a lot of short videos. And there's Wally. That's my big dog. Well, I really appreciate you subscribing. I like having new subscribers. I tell everybody I'm my life is boring, but it is what it is now because it consists of getting better and doctor's appointments. It's not been bad, but these little guys keep me grounded and keep me moving, so I have stuff to motivate me. I have mouths to feed still. And that's what I do. A lot of mornings I just come out and talk in the camera and drink my coffee. Everybody's back to sleep again, except Teddy and Wally. Yes, in this world, boring is wonderful. That means nothing is going on or bad's happening. And I will take care of myself, and you do the same, Lori. And thank you for subscribing and hit that bell button because I really don't know when I come on, but I pop in all the time. You have a good day, and thank you for watching. Really, I like interacting with new people. I have my loyals that I'm way earlier than they get up because I just woke up early this morning and decided, hey, let's have some fun. Usually they wake me up because they have to use the bathroom. And they come out and use the bathroom and go to sleep. And I'm still stuck awake. This morning I woke them up, come out and use the bathroom. And now they all want to go back to sleep. I can tell they were still tired because when I got up a while ago and was quiet, I went in and made myself another cup of coffee. And none of them moved. Usually any time that they're awake and moving around, if I get up to walk in the house, they're going to come. One or two at least. Usually Molly or Teddy. The two little ones stick to me like glue most of the time. Now, if I'm carrying Teddy's dinner bowl, he's in between my legs every step I take. I thought when he first done it, I thought it was cute, but now I think he's part Malinois, those training dogs that you take a step, that dog takes a step. He does the exact same thing when I'm holding his food. And he's very slow about it because he'll stop and look up and look back. And it's like, what are you doing? And with that, I have to be real careful. I don't want to step on him, or I don't want to be tripped by him. You guys can't hear that, but I gotta go open the door. Stanley wants out. I hear you, bud. Not only do I have dogs that whine or scratch at the door, I have cats that'll scream at the door. Let me out. Open it up. Of course, we got the cats when they were kittens. So they've grown up around the dogs, so they have dog behaviors. They used to follow them out in the yard, go to the bathroom, come back in with them. They would even sit on the porch, and when the dogs heard noises and took off barking, the cats would run behind them to see what was up. So everybody gets along, so that's a good thing. Good morning, Ruby. She said, I'm just stretching and changing position. That's Stanley in the water bowl there. It's on the step because I had to move it out of the sun yesterday afternoon. And I never put it back down, but they don't care. It's the outside community bowl. Good morning, Sir Wally Clark. You're over here wanting to pet, and you want me to open the door. I don't hear the hoot owl anymore, so your brothers and sisters should be fine. I basically had everybody locked on the porch early this morning because I have all little dogs except for Wally, and there was a big hoot owl. I could hear him in the trees back there. And if you live anywhere where there's an owl and you have a small dog, you know those two don't mix. So we try to keep everybody as safe as possible. Damn, Stanley, stay some for the rest of them. He been in there 5 minutes. He said, I'm thirsty. He's there just sleeping away. Slurp, slurp, slurping. And of course, his sister looks almost exactly like him. That's her in the chair. The only thing is Stanley is almost twice her size, and he's more shiny black, and then she's got dull black and a lot of gray. He has a lot of real shiny black. When they were kittens, they were almost impossible to tell apart. I'm glad when they got older, they were easier to tell. Because I don't want to misgender my cats. So when I see the boy, I call him boy. When I see the girl, I call her girl. Or Stella and Stanley. Stelly. Or here's the kicker. Was a new word for me. 2 new words. I'm pretty sure. I'm probably not saying them correctly. But I found out that Stella, my son-in-law, said that she is Gata, which is a female cat. And Stanley is Gato. He's a male cat. And I was like, ooh, learning Spanish already. I think that's funny. That's why Stanley wanted outside so bad. The birds are waking up, and his head is going every which way. He's like, where do I start hunting first? Wildlife is crazy. I try to keep quiet when I hear the birds going. Let people listen for a few minutes of what my mornings are. I watch dogs and see their reactions and things to basically the world waking up around them. It's a peaceful sound. the look on Stanley's face is just amusing. It's hard to see because the sun hasn't quite gotten up yet, but it sure is getting more light outside, which is good. I can turn off the porch light here in a little bit. Listening to the birds. Such a peaceful sound in the morning. What's up, handsome fella? Look at how he's sleeping. Or laying there listening to the morning sounds. I'm sorry, I gotta turn it back this way, or else if by some miracle somebody makes a comment, then I won't be able to see it when we're watching Stan. But he's still sitting there with his arm hanging down, investigating the sounds he hears. Sleeping dog. Makes you wonder what they dream about sometimes. We'll say the coffee went down the wrong way. Well, I've been on here over an hour. Not much is going on. Dogs are just sleeping and chilling. But if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, that notification, because I never know when I'm going to be back. So if you want an hour of your life wasted once in a while, just come follow me. And if you join in the conversation, then that would be a lot better. Or if you prefer that I just shut the hell up and you watch the dogs sleep and listen to nature, that works too. I really appreciate everybody that has watched or is watching or will watch later. I doubt anybody will watch later, but hey, we can only hope. You guys have a great day. Be safe and tune back in.